What is going on, my homies? My name is Leo COYS. I'm part of Colorado Spurs and a diehard Tottenham Hotspur fan. And today I'm trying to do something new on the channel. It's called HotBoxin with the homies. These are not guests, these are my homies, which is much more than just a guest. So look, I'm just gonna have to say this real quick. I've had plenty of homies, guests, however you will on here, Jim. But for some reason, I'm really excited to have you debut on my channel, Jim. So
Thank
big
you.
up to you. And that's not to take anything away from these two guys. It's just this is a debut that I've been waiting for a while. And so Jimbo, thank you for making it happen. Bobby K, and Brent. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Not too bad, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Very good. Thank you, Leo. Happy to be here.
Good. Thank you, bro. I
Likewise.
appreciate you.
You know,
I'm doing good. Brent, how are you doing, my man?
no complaints. No complaints. Hanging in.
Yeah. Usually I'm dreading this time when we go through an international break, but at this point right now, I think it couldn't have come at a more special, at a more like opportune time where we definitely need it right now. So big up. Thanks for anybody who's joining us, going live. We will have another guest joining us, another homie. So make sure you keep it locked in, hit the likes and subscribe. We're edging very close to 700 subscribers, you guys.
Nice.
So big up.
Excellent.
Thanks to the community for making it happen. Look, I'm just gonna dive right into it, you guys. Van de Ven's injured. It looks like it's going to be a lengthy one, at least until the New Year's. We don't know if it's the grade 2, the grade 3. It's a fucking injury, and we're going to be out of Van de Ven for a while, right? So, Bobby K, I'm going to go straight with you, bro. This is going to impact us, and it has already impacted us, right? What do we have to look forward to going, from now till January? What do you think is going to happen from now on?
The only thing I'm looking forward to is him recovering. For me, Van de Ven has just been the cat's meow. I'm absolutely loving this guy. Every channel I've gone on, I've told people that I'm happily willing to leave my wife for him. That's how much I adore this guy. I think he's just been fantastic. What he's brought to the team just showed you what a gap we had in the quality that we already had there. You know how poor it was and what an upgrade was needed. But what a major upgrade we've had with this guy. He's been just everything's been done right. The only thing I see weakness in his game so far has been his heading, which is just looks like a timing issue. For a big boy, he's not able to get up sometimes, which is a bit of a problem. But that's also the pace of the league and the fact that he's 12 games into his career here. Well, I should say 11. He didn't play in the last game, so
Right.
he's just hit the ground. I don't even want to say he hit the ground running. He's hit the ground steamrolling. He's been outstanding. What a loss. The recent report I read was showing that was stating that he might be out until the middle or end of February. So I'm very disappointed in hearing that. I think that we are really, really showing what a gap there is between our starting 11 and our bench, and very few positions have quality that can come in, and this is not one of those positions.
Yeah. Brent, go ahead and just jump in.
Kate
there,
needs
bro.
to get her eyes checked. Four gorgeous gents on a Friday morning. How lucky am I? She must have been in the wine. She sees 4 gyms.
That's what it is. Brent, Van de Ven, especially at the pub where we watch the games at, right? We cheer him on a lot, bro. When he makes a good tackle, like we're on it, you know what I mean? We chant for him a lot. Now that we're not going to be able to see him, bro, and Bobby literally hit a lot of good points, but is there anything that you want to add to that, bro? How do you feel about our team? The style of play that we're going to have to now. Are we going to have to play a different style now that Van de Ven is not there? We don't have that speed.
I mean, if you had told me, what has to happen in order for us to, be successful in this line of games, where we had like 6 matches coming up, whatever. And I was thinking, if as long as we can get 12 points, then we'll be in good shape. If we get 13, that'd be even better. And, now we've lost 2 in a row, and that's not looking likely with at least one of the matches coming up. You never know. We've had good luck against City the last couple of years, really. But But the thing I would have said is like, hey, as long as Sonny and Matters and Van de Ven stay healthy, we'll be all right. And we have 2 of them not healthy, and it sounded like Sonny got a little ding yesterday in his international. It sounds like he's all right, but he's kind of seemed like not completely 100% anyway. So I mean, when it rains, it pours, and I mean, what can you do? And I mean, we've all been Spurs fans long enough to know that, like, as soon as you start thinking those thoughts of like, hey, things are looking pretty good, as long as these things come, and then boom, like in one match, it all changes. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we have the personnel to really do what Big Ange wants to do, but at the same time, he doesn't seem like he wants to change it. I mean, I respect that in some ways, but I also feel like his the last loss was a little bit on, like, you're going to live by the sword, die by the sword. And I think we lost because he wasn't willing to, you get to the 80th minute and you're in the shape they're in. It might be to kind of sit back a little bit and be a little bit more defensive. And, but it is what it is. And I trust him. And I think at the end, it'll be all right. So, yeah.
Jim, before I go to you, I just want to big up here Kevin Cole. He says, I haven't gotten a chance to go to Esther's yet for a match. He wants to know if we'll be going for the Aston Villa. I will be there present, Kevin, if you want to show up, man, and say what's up. So look at that, just is awesome right there, right? One of somebody that we haven't met yet wants to go to Esther's. Found out, I'm assuming about the Colorado Spurs through the through the grapevine. So big up. That means, we're making some noise and it's good. So big up to you. The second line team just has to stick it out for a month. They need to come together as a group even more now. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, that's good, right? That's actually a good point. Jim, what would you say to Kevin's comment here, right? I mean, the second team has to stick it out for this month and some change, or however it is. Are you worried, Jimbo? Let me know how you're feeling.
You know me, Leo. I never worry.
Yeah,
I never worry. You know me. I was screaming we're going to win the league, but it all died in one game. But I still think we'll be up thereabouts. I've got a lot of trust in Ange.
You cut that shit out, Jim. Cut that shit out. The double is on, baby.
He's been around 28 years in football, Leo. He's not a mug. He's been around the block a few times. I'd like to see some of the youngsters given a go.
Yes,
because let's face it, Dyer's not up to it. He tried the other day. He tried hard against Wolves, but he just can't cut it. He's not Premiership material. So I would say give the youngsters, fresh legs. They're going to be quicker than him, that's for sure. And I would say give the
certainly can't be slower.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't, Leo. I don't worry. Say we lose, we've got next. We got is it Villa next?
And everything else.
Villa, Newcastle, and
Villa, City, then Newcastle. Yeah.
Let's just say I don't think it will happen. Say we lost all them games, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the time that's good, that's finished, we have some players coming back from injury. We'll have the after the City game, Romero's back. Your doggy will be back next game. So say we lost them 3 games, even that's not the end of the world. Someone said to me the other day, if we lose them 3, it's 5 on a row. It's a disaster. It's not a disaster because of the position we're in. We've got ourselves into a second, or we was second in the league for the last game. We could afford to lose a few points to still be up there when our players start filtering back. So I'm not worried. Not one bit am I worried. Not at all.
Yeah.
It's amazing how we lose 2 games and we're out of a title race. Yet City lost to Wolves. City just drew, a massive game with Chelsea there, and nobody's saying that they're out of it. It's amazing to me how when we were at the top of the food chain, nobody was giving us any credit, and now we've had 2 losses in a row, and everybody's quick to discard us. It's hilarious, and I love it because why are you paying so much attention to what Spurs are doing?
Everybody was right. Everyone was screaming about Ange, how good he is. Lose 2 games. And people are going, he's a fraud, he's this. I'm not worried at all, and I am convinced that Ange Postecoglou will bring us trophies.
Oh, eventually, yeah. I agree with that. Dagul looking sharp, man. Clean cut, new computer, new haircut, new everything. It's new you.
Like I said to you, Bobby, when the side of my hair is longer than the top of my hair, is when you realise you're getting old. I'm vain and never again. Never, ever again. So this is the look forever now. forever.
Big up that Dagul, my homie.
Big up everyone. Hope everyone's good.
Yeah. There you go. So we kind of the first thing, of course, the first topic of discussion has been Van de Ven's impact and therefore and you know the impact of his injury. And then we had a comment from Kevin kind of saying how our second team, of course, is a huge drop off from the first. So to put all that in a nutshell, and we could kind of move on to another subject. From now until Van de Ven is back, and I'm going to use Van de Ven as like the benchmark, right? Because let's just face it, when he's in the team, like our team is mustard, and when he's not, it's fucking pickle relish, right? Yeah. So, man, how worried are you, Dagul?
Well, I'm worried if Eric Dyer starts. If Ashley Phillips starts, I won't be worried. I won't be worried. We have had, excuse me, we've had years and years of trying these defenders that don't work. And we know they're not going to work. If Ashley Phillips comes in, he makes a mistake. He's a youngster, he makes a mistake. Or he comes in, he's just captained the England under-19s with Dorrington as his partner, with Donnelly playing, and everyone, chuck this guy in. We've done it with Ledley King when he was a youngster. We did it with Tanganga when he was a youngster. We've done it with youngsters before in defence, so people can't say, oh, you can't do it with the defender. You start with Ashley Phillips over Eric Dyer every single day of the week.
Nope.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and I know that's gonna split. That's gonna divide.
Yeah, my man here. I gotta.
That's gonna divide the community. Go ahead, Bobby. Why? Go ahead and.
Only because if there's a reason Dorrington is starting for the youngsters, there's a reason that Phillips is on the bench there and barely making our bench. There's something that he's shown Ange that this is all personal opinion, of course. I feel that he's shown Ange something to say that he's not ready. And that's why we're forced to go with an experienced, lesser quality Dyer. I think right now he's choosing experience over quality. And I fear that it might be a disservice for Phillips to come in. And if he has a just, absolutely horrific nightmare of a game, it could seriously push this kid backwards big time. Where, on the flip side, you could argue Brian's point, well, if you throw him in and he has a blinder, the amount of confidence that could be instilled into this kid could be tremendous. But I don't see why it hasn't happened. I don't see why Phillips hasn't touched the field yet. He hasn't even come back as a cameo appearance to kind of close out a game. There's something that we haven't seen as fans. For as much as we rate the kid, for as much as we love him, we want to have him come in. We know he's faster than Dyer because I don't think there's anybody on the squad that's not faster than Dyer, and that includes I'm including Ethel, the tea lady, the squadman, the groundskeeper, the grass cutter, everybody associated to Tottenham. I think Dyer is probably slower than them all, but for some reason he hasn't come in. Why? I don't know. Maybe you guys know something I don't, but for some reason,
Bobby,
I don't know why he's not getting a shout.
If he wants to play, if Ange wants to play his high line, the way we got away with it, or not got away with it, the way we were able to play with it so much is we have Van de Ven's pace. So we could get out of it, and Van de Ven was there to recover.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer and Ben Davies, if you had to name 300 attributes, pace would not be in the 300. If you talk Ashley Phillips, the first two things, power, pace. So if you want to play,
but that's what I'm saying. There's something else than the rest. When you're looking at the whole package, there's other things clearly missing to Ange.
I don't think it may. I think it's a lot deeper than that, because if you look at this, Arsenal.
You think he's rubbed some people the wrong way?
No. I don't think there's anything about that. You look at it over the years. Arsenal have brought through Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Eddie Nketiah. I can go on over the years. Liverpool. I can go on throughout the years. Manchester City. I can go on throughout the years. Chelsea. Gallagher, I can go on throughout the years. Tottenham Hotspur. Ollie Skip recently. Ollie Skip, Harry Kane. For some reason, and I'm not saying where I'm not saying this. There's something at Tottenham Hotspur where we have this youth. We a lot of the thing that we did in the summer was clearing the deadwood and clearing roadblocks so they could get in there. And for some reason,
They're not getting
We
in.
don't trust our youth.
Here's
Every
the
other
weird
team
thing.
do, we don't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brent.
The thing I was going to say is that, like, the weird thing to me is I kind of fall between you guys. Like, I think that we should give them a shot, but I also think that they're probably not ready. But so here's with the fixtures that we have, why wouldn't have you have given it a shot against Wolves? Because now we have Villa and we have City coming up. Well, you're not going to do it against City, obviously. Against City, speed or not, I think I'd rather have Dyer and Davies back there just because you're going to need some experience. But maybe now's the time to do it against Villa. I mean, obviously Villa, they started off hot, but they've been a little bit more vulnerable lately, so maybe this is the game to do it. But I really thought Wolves was the match to try.
But Brent, we don't do good against Emery for some reason. That guy's got our number.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do it personally, but I thought we should have done it against Wolves. So
I agree 100%. I agree with Brian.
If you're going to do it,
that was the time to do it. Want to see him thrown in. I want to see us lose with this kid out there that's learning the game and hopefully is leading towards our future versus seeing a player on the pitch that we collectively as fans want out, and one that has been made kind of clear by Ange that he doesn't rate or want in his system. So for me personally, I would rather take the risk on Ashley and watch him make mistakes and say, all right, let's hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake in the next game or further down the road, as long as he learns from it. Dyer to me is past the point of learning. He's 29 now, I believe, right?
Yeah.
28 or 29.
Yeah, they're about.
His learning. He's been 10 years with us almost, right? So his learning stage is done. There is no learning stage. You can come in and do the job or you can't. He came in on against Chelsea. We applauded him. He started against Wolves, and people are saying he was at fault for both goals with his positioning and stuff. Now, the Dyer purists, like my darling son, who's a little deluded, will go absolutely nuts. He's listening to me right now and shaking his head very violently to the point where he's going to hurt his neck. But he would come on. Oh, you want to come and praise Dyer for a minute?
Big up, Big K. Big up, Big K.
No. It's Leo's show.
He's 30.
Okay.
He's older than Dyer.
Ben Davies is older than Dyer. But my point that I was getting to is we sold the wrong defender to Galatasaray. We sold the wrong defender because, as far as I'm concerned, regardless of how bad we think Sanchez is, at least he had the pace to play in an Ange system.
Correct.
He did have the pace. One thing I will say,
you want in on this here?
No, not really.
He's doing very well.
Shut up. Chirping, throwing his 2 cents in over here, but he won't come on camera and do it. Who is it you're scared of? Jim? Leo? Brian Dago's on here. Uncle Westman's here. You got backup.
And Brian's his mate.
And Brent's here.
Brian's not going to leave him hanging. Yeah.
Brent's not going to leave. Brian's not going to leave you hanging.
Big K. Big up. Well, listen, guys. One thing I do want to say on this whole the discussion we're having is I would prefer, and I think I would feel a lot better come January and we've lost these games. I would have felt a lot better had we lost these games playing these young kids. And I know it might seem like, this weekend, it would have been a perfect phrase, tossing them out there to the Wolves, right? Feeding them to the Wolves. But that would have been the perfect start. I agree with Brent. And the one part of me does say it is kind of fucked up to do that to the young kids. But when I was growing up and I wanted to hang out with my older brother and his friends, you know what I had to do? I had to do all the shit they were doing. They were swimming in the deep end. I didn't even know how to swim. My brother said, "You want to swim with us? Let's go." Threw my ass in the pool, and I had to swim. So I'm all for that, right? And nowadays, like the way the world is, like it's hard to kind of mold people like that, right? You have to be careful with what you tell them, with what you say, the way you conduct yourself. So I get it. We have to be careful with the way we nurture these kids and bring them into the first team. But the Spurs fan in me and the competitor in me says, fuck that. If they're gonna learn, like let them get seat time right now and start driving already. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna do that, if we're gonna go down that route, and if we're gonna be losing games, let's lose with glory, right? Let's at least go down fighting. Let's at least go down trying. So having Dyer on the bench. Having Dyer on the bench, Bobby K, and I know your son's gonna hate me for this, but that's the worst part of me seeing the Spurs lineup recently is having to see Dyer on the bench or in the starting lineup. So
seeing Davies and Dyer start together is more dreadful than anything.
And you're right, Bobby K. That's even more dreadful.
the thing you got to look
So-
at, right? This is what I'd be thinking if I was the manager, right? I wouldn't be putting Ashley Phillips on with Dyer, and I wouldn't be putting Ashley Phillips on with Davis. So maybe he's waiting to put him on when Romero's back, because I mean, look, what's Dyer and Davis going to do for Ashley Phillips? How are they going to show him where to be? And at least Romero's a proper defender, so maybe he's waiting.
Yeah.
He's
But-
waiting
but
for him
the-
to come back, and he'll put him on with him.
The problem with that, Joe, is Jim. We've seen how poor Romero becomes when he's got a
Yeah,
poor
but
partner.
look, Bobby,
That's
look.
true.
At the end of the day, we know Romero is a top defender. He loses his head occasionally, right? And he's done well this season. For the first 10 games, he kept his head brilliant, and he was fantastic. For me, him and Van der Ven were the best pairing in the Premiership. So we know he can keep his head. So maybe that's what he's waiting for, to get Romero back and stick him on with Romero. Because if I was a manager, I wouldn't put him in with one of them other two donkeys.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But I agree with Leo's point, though, because
My
the thing is,
homie.
eventually,
My
Stuart, good
homie.
evening.
My homie.
Eventually, they
Bingo.
got to be thrown in the fire. You are going to get burned eventually.
Yeah.
Does it happen to you at 18? Does it happen to you at 19, 20, 21? I don't think it matters.
Eventually, it has to happen. Bobby K.
Eventually, it's gonna. If you
Yeah.
keep coddling them to the point where they get older, we're making them soft.
Could I just add as well? Because if you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comments to the wonderful Kate,
Good point.
and you see her comment, this is what I've been saying as well. Phillips has played in the championship. All right, he's only played under 10 games, but as an 18-year-old,
Yeah, you only
or
had 7 games or
17-year-old,
something, right?
that championship is no mug league. That league is very physical, very demanding, and so quick and strong that you have to be on your game. He hasn't played up a massive amount of games, but he has played in the championship, and he played for a Blackburn team who should be. They're one of the. Listen, they've won the Premier League. They're a big football club. They've just gone through hard times. It's no to play in that league. You have to have something about you at 18 years old. Yes, the pace and the quality, of course, is night and day when he comes to the Premier League, but it's not like he's played non-league or in the Scottish third division. He's played in the Championship. He's England's under-19 captain. What's that say?
That's a good shout right there. That's a good shout, Brian.
If you keep agreeing with her, Brian, she's going to get a big head. You know that.
Well, you know what? Let her
Phil,
get
Phil,
Hey,
Phil.
Phil Army.
Sit on me.
Right, Phil.
Big up. Yeah, you guys, this is we definitely we've hit adversity for sure, but the thing about it and what sucks the most, you guys, is that it was a fucking brick wall that we ran into that day, right? It wasn't even like it was just one little thing that happened and then suspension the next week and then maybe an injury. No, it just all went downhill.
Yeah,
with
it's a
that
snowball.
game. Yeah, and it is what it is now, right, you guys, and we move forward. I think that and I'm with Jim. We in Big Ants we trust, right? And I just
100%.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead and chime in on how on this conversation, brother.
With me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said to look, I trust Ange. I think he's holding him back for when he's got a better defender next to him, because I just look at it that I wouldn't put him on with one of them two, And he did the other day, the tactics against Wolves. He did bring them back, didn't he? A few yards. They weren't right high up. He brought them back a few yards, I suppose, because of the pace. But it still never worked. But I trust Ange. He can only work with what he's got. So we just have to trust him. I'm confident in this guy 100%.
Agreed.
I agree. So the worst case scenario, we're saying we might let's actually open up this kind of worms now, right? Bobby, if you wouldn't mind helping me out, bro, what does our schedule look like coming up?
We got
Do
Villa
have,
next. We got what is
Man
it?
City,
Villa,
West
City,
Ham.
then Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle
Okay.
and West Ham. Yeah, no, Man
Then
City. I think West Ham's a few days after.
Yeah, we got.
West Ham, then Newcastle.
Yeah, we got. I think is it not Villa? I think it was Villa, Newcastle, City, and then West Ham.
Do you know what? We're
think
all,
so.
Here, I'll
we're
just
all-
bring it up. It'll be easier.
Yeah, go on, Bobby.
Villa City.
If only there was a way for us to. I'm sitting here struggling
Yeah.
too.
Look
You
at
guys,
Bobby.
if only
Okay,
there was a
so
way for us to
it's
find out.
it's Villa next Sunday.
Mhm.
Then after that is City, then West Ham,
Yeah, that's all.
then Newcastle,
Oh,
then Forest, then Everton, then Brighton, and then Bournemouth. That takes us to the end of December.
Okay.
Damn, that's a lot of December.
So
games.
we are just coming up. We're coming up against a few tough games, and then the rest of them should be manageable because we will have at least Romero back, and by then this whole situation of Dyer or Phillips or fuck Davies or whoever playing center back will by then already be kind of settled. I'm assuming, but how far down the table, Brent, do you see us come January, bro?
I mean, it's
Well,
I think
come
it's a rough.
January. We've got 8 games in that stretch there before January. 8
Yeah.
games in pretty much just over 4.5 weeks.
8 games. I mean, I think in order to like really not tank it, we need at least 12 points from those 8, and it would be better to get closer to 18 or whatever. So, again, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with City? I mean, I know it doesn't look good, but for some reason we've had their number, so maybe we punch them in the mouth somehow and get something out of it. You never know. So yeah, I mean, I think if we can get at least 12 points, then we'll be all right. Basically.
Well, if you want to, Leo, if you want, you can share my screen, bring up the table, and we can all just kind of go and try to get a points tally out of that 8 games, out of the available. What is that? 24 points. How many we think we'll get then?
well,
How do I
seventh
do
place
that?
is
Do you
6
just gotta
points
share
behind
it with me?
us.
So what do I have to do?
How do I
Oh
share
no,
it?
sorry, I have to do it on my end. I think.
Oh,
Hold on a
yeah.
second. Yeah.
For sure, brother.
Share screen.
Real quick, Kate.
Yeah.
Kate says
Share. Okay,
she
here
thinks
you go.
we'll be 6th.
Yeah, Newcastle are 7th, and they're 6 points behind us.
And they're a mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to get with them.
Yeah, that's right. You don't know what you're getting with them. Yeah, at the minute.
So Leo, do you want to
Matters, you
just go
guys.
through everybody individually and see what they think we'll get in terms of points totals, or?
Yeah, just real quick, you guys, right? I don't want to. Yeah, real quick, right? Let's just see here individually. What position you think Bobby K will be? We could, are we dropping down? Are we moving up? Where do you see us come January? Based off of this fixtures here that you see, bro.
Based off this picture, I think Villa are a bit of a roller coaster right now, so we don't know what Villa team's going to show up on Sunday. But I think Ange is going to tweak enough things to get it right for that game. I think we can beat Villa. I don't have much hope for City, especially without Van de Ven and Madison. We're not going to get anything there. West Ham. We're at West Ham. That's always tough for us. So a draw.
Oh, it's at White Hart Lane, bro.
Yeah, we're
That
at
was at
home.
White Hart
We're at
Lane?
home, yeah.
The Villa game this weekend's at home.
Yeah, next weekend. Yeah.
Next weekend. Yeah.
Oh,
The next-
okay. I thought it was the other way
Oh,
around.
you're
here.
you're
Okay.
doing it like American football, aren't you? If we're
American
top,
football. Yeah.
if we're
The top
we're
team is the
if
home
we're
team.
bottom, we're
Okay.
away.
Yeah. This is the problem when you watch 2 play sports and you don't
The next
understand
4
any of them.
games, Bobby, we've got 3 at home.
So Villa, I could see us winning that one. City, we're losing away. Tottenham at home to West Ham. We should be able to take that. So that's 6 points there out of the first 3 games. Newcastle at home, I'll give us a draw at very best. So that's 7 points now. Forest, we should be able to beat them away. That's 10. Home to Everton. They're a bit of a dicey animal right now. They're coming alive, aren't they? But I think we could win that.
They
So that's
are.
13. Brighton at home is always tough for us. I don't see us maybe getting anything there. So we're still at 13, and I think we should be able to take Bournemouth. So I see 16 out of that 24 that I think is best case scenario.
Basically,
that's
you
being-
kind of went with Brent kind of said the same numbers, right, without seeing them. So yeah, that's not a bad shout, Bobby K. And being as we're all homies here, we have to defend and honor and support Bobby K. So we're all going with the same answer as Bobby K.
Yay!
What I will say with
Now
these
Brian don't
fixtures-
like that.
What I will say with
Okay.
these fixtures,
Well, and we have an asterisk down at the bottom, and this is where Dagul comes in and gives us his opinion.
the one good thing about the fixture list
Big
is
up has.
because of us not playing European football and because the demand to watch handball, a lot of these games have been shifted. There was only meant to be 2 days between Man City, West Ham. There's now 5. There was meant to be 2 days between the day before Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. That's been changed for TV. So a lot of these games, we have got a lot more recovery time than other people. Whether that helps us, whether that doesn't, whether that gives more time to players come back, we'll have to wait and see. But the people were getting annoyed that our fixtures have changed. Like the Notts Forest game's been moved to Friday night football. Nottingham that Friday, I can tell you now, is going to be. I wish I was in Nottingham because all the universities will have finished. Everyone will be out on their Christmas dues. There's loads of my boys staying in Nottingham for the night, and it's going to be. They'll have a mental night. A lot of our games have changed for TV, so it's helped us that way. It hasn't helped the Spurs supporters that are going with their travels up and down the country, but I think that's going to have a big benefit to us.
Right on. I agree.
It's still tight though. It's still a tight schedule because after Villa we got a week before City. Yeah, no. We went over this before. I think last week or the week before we were talking about this right before they changed it.
Big up to Haz. I just want to say big up Haz.
How
How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing good, Haz. Hope you are doing good, bro. Let's see. West Ham look good going forward right now. I'm going 9 points from the next 7. Well, yeah. I mean, we just the thing about it is we'll have to see. Brent, I want to pose this question to you. Is the Madison injury, and I want to add context to it too before asking you. So the reason I'm saying I think for us, Madison is a much more important injury than Van de Ven is because let's say we have Madison and we don't have a Van de Ven, our defense is still shakier than a motherfucker and we still look suspect. But we're gonna probably be creating goals because we have James Madison. But I pose this to you, bro. Is he more important than Van de Ven? Because if we don't have James Madison and we have a fit Van de Ven, we're not creating any goals.
And it's a coin
So
flip.
I mean,
Yeah, it's hard to
it's a coin
say.
flip.
Yeah, I mean, because we obviously don't, just like we don't have anybody to come in as a backup center back. We don't have anybody to really come in as a creative in there. You know, I mean, we can try. I was really surprised we didn't start Lo Celso last match, so that kind of made me wonder what that was about. But then he looked really bad once he was in, so I don't. Maybe that's why. Maybe he's not completely match fit. I'm not sure what's going on there. But, I mean, there's not anybody we can stick in. The only positive we had coming in creatively, strangely, was Bentancur. When Bentancur came in last match or whatever, then started seeing him making some of those runs from the back. But then also that's when we gave up the goals. So who knows? You know,
Yeah.
I don't have any ideas. I mean, maybe, you know, people are saying throw heel out there or, you know, some other people like that, but I don't really see that being any more effective. So we're in trouble with that matters for sure.
I think the fitness of most of our second team players move Kulu into good shout, Kay. I think that's not a bad idea too. I would love to see him. And Kulu's actually
I
said
said that last
himself
week on her show.
he
She's
feels
stealing my thunder.
she would do
She's
that.
good at that, Bobby.
Kulu said that he prefers playing in that. Well, he feels his natural position is in that cam, right? So I would love to see him try and actually to do that.
Well, he did it for
think
Juventus.
honestly-
That's where he played.
I have to say Van de Ven is much more important
To me, same.
because
Same.
Van de Ven we need because we have got no other defenders.
Yep.
Like Kate just said, or other people. With Madison, you can put Kulu there. You can put
There's options. Yeah.
Bentancur there. You can put someone there that could Lo Celso. There are options. Yeah. Oh, Kate now. Oh, Kate just said a magic sentence. She knows she's trying to make me very, very happy this evening, and that's
obviously she's kissing a lot of Brian ass today and just on me for some reason.
That right there is
she's tired, bro.
Listen, this boy, people will know if you see me on YouTube. I have been waxing lyrical about him for about 3 years about how good this kid is. But yeah, there are so many different options to play the creative midfielder. There is no one that can play Van de Ven's position. No one.
The drop off from Van de Ven to to X or to whoever
Anybody.
is a lot bigger than the drop off from
Yeah, that's a good way to put
from
it.
Madison.
I think him and
to,
Vicario are
him
the two
playing.
biggest misses. If either of them are out,
Mm,
there is no replacement for them.
mm.
And Destiny.
Yeah.
Madison's huge. Don't get me wrong. Madison is a massive part of our game, but there are cover for him.
Mm.
For Van der Ven, for Udogie and Vicario, there is not.
Yeah. Just want to say big up to everybody that's tuning in. Please, you guys, hit the likes and subscribe. Earlier today, we were like 6 away from 700. I don't know where we're at right now. Hopefully, we're getting closer to that. So if you are not subscribed, definitely drop a subscribe and follow us on Instagram and on Twitter.
5 away.
I don't do much of that, but I will. So yeah, but hit the likes, people, because it does help us out. And one thing I do want to say is I want to big up the homie Ben Kaufman for helping me out with the background you see here. That way I could make it, part of HotBoxin with my homies. I had to have the smoke in the background, right? So I reached out to Ben Kaufman. So big up to you, my
He's
homie,
wicked.
for helping me out. Yeah. So where were we at, guys? Bobby K, anything you want to just bring up, bro, or anything you want to talk about, bro?
Well, early in the show, you were talking about, people were pissed off with the way Ange did things. Why is he not making changes? This, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. It's funny because now I'm hearing the arguments from the other end of the spectrum. When we used to question Mourinho and Conte about, why is he doing this? Why is he forcing players to play out of position and stuff? Ange doesn't seem to be doing that. He doesn't seem to be trying to, do the square pegs into round holes mentality where he's kind of trusting the players and putting a bit of faith in them. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the players to be able to put the faith into right now. But he's made it very clear. This is the way I do things, and this is the way I'm going to keep doing things.
But Jim, you'd almost prefer a manager that's, I guess, the word I'm going to use is stubborn because he's going to be set in his ways, right? You would almost prefer a manager that's going to say, no, this is how we're going to fucking do things and it's going to be this way. Instead of somebody who Daniel Levy's going to walk in and say, hey, you're going to start this player, and this player, and this is going to be your starting 11. And that guy going, okay, right? You don't, I mean, personally, I don't want no pushover manager. I don't want any type of pushovers at the club, period. And let alone from our manager, Jim.
Ange's not a pushover. You can see in his interviews what he says.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the players. He wanted these people to come in. What's his name? Lange or Longe, whatever his name is. Munn. He wanted them to come in because his exact words were, is I will sit down in a meeting with them. He hates meetings. He said that. He hates meetings. So he said, I will sit down with them, as quick as possible, tell them exactly what I need, and they'll go out and do it so I can concentrate on the team. But he said he won't take players that he doesn't want because then what's the point? Is his exact words. If I pick the players and if it doesn't work out, I will take the blame. But I can't take the blame for other people picking the players. So he is a strong character. Kate doesn't think that he's picked some of the players, but I believe all the players that have come in have been his choice. I don't think he'd stand for it. He walked away from the Australian team because they didn't do what he wanted. So I'm sure if he walks away from the national team, I'm sure he'll walk away from a club team. He's a strong character.
That's not a good thing to worry about.
I'm going to try and catch up here with this.
For us to have to worry about that he could potentially walk away if he's not back.
Yeah, but the thing is, the thing is, Bobby, we don't want a Conte, right, that gets up and 1 minute saying one thing, the next minute saying another thing. We never knew where we stood with the guy. You're all right, young man. You're all right. Yeah, is he feeling better?
Sorry, my kid's photo bombers.
Is he feeling better, Bobby?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, he's much better now. I'd say he's back to
good.
Well, he's standing here dancing in front of me, so yeah, I'm going to say he's back to
excellent. So what I was going to say was Conte. You never knew where you stood with him. One interview you'd watch him and he would be talking about something. And then the next interview you'd see he'd be saying the opposite. Want a guy that's consistent.
And you're so negative, Kate.
No, what's Kate saying? You're dangerously getting into my specialist subject territory.
Do you know what? Kate's got no faith in our club anymore, right? And I'm not going to say that she's
A
wrong.
lot of people are like that, Jim. A
Yeah.
lot, and you can't blame them.
I
Look
wouldn't
at
say
history.
I wouldn't say it's no faith. I wouldn't say it's no faith. I think maybe they are really put a guard up, right? It's kind of like, we've
No,
all heard
I
the
think he's right.
analogy,
I
and I
think
didn't
it's
mean to
no
cut you
faith.
off, Bobby, but yeah, I mean it could be translated. Yeah, it just depends on how you translate it, right? But a lot of people definitely, yeah, Bobby, for lack
It's
of
been
better
taken
words,
away,
right?
buddy. And I don't blame the people.
Yeah.
I blame the
No,
club
nor do
for
I.
I don't
allowing
blame them
that to
either. Is what
happen.
I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
you allowed this
But
to
you were
happen.
gonna say, Bobby?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've allowed this to happen. They've created this discord between not only them and the fans, this distancing, but between fans and fans. The amount of things that we have to disagree over. What happened to just being happy and enjoying our football? Sometimes, for as much as I praise coming into this YouTube community because of this guy beside me here, there's sometimes I wonder if I would have been better off outside of it, because I was happy to be, ignorance is bliss. I was happy to not know as much as I know about Tottenham now.
That's a
Good
point.
You got
Because
your fair
that's a
share
good
at the
point.
Scotland Yard, brother. Don't deny it.
yeah, I guess there's no avoiding it completely.
Can I just
Yeah.
answer what Kate's
It's a
put
gift
there?
and a curse. Yeah. Of course.
Kate's put he picked Phillips, never plays him. Picked Belize, never plays him. But maybe he's got them there for the next season and the season after. It doesn't mean that he's brought them in and he has to play them now. Maybe he's getting them ready for next season or the season after. You have to think. You have to look at the whole circle of it. It's not. It's not just black and white. There's more to it.
Sorry, Jim.
players-
Case is having foreplay with me here.
Yeah, she fucking is, Brian Dagul.
literally. I mean,
yeah.
You better
literally,
quit it.
It's getting kind of sickening now, Kate. Settle
You
down.
better quit it, Kate.
Yeah, he's
So
married.
Brent, so my homie Jim here is Jim, just a guy who loves Spurs, and this is his wife Kate, just a girl who loves Spurs. And like I was telling you earlier, she has a YouTube channel where her husband Jim also is part of it. And so yeah, I'd advise you to check it out, brother. It's a good show, and that's why the banter is how it is.
She
So
needs to wash
just
her
adding the
mouth out,
context
Leo.
there.
She needs to wash her mouth out with soap. Some of the words she's been using tonight. It's disgusting. I'm ashamed of her.
Terrible. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
This one here, between husbands and wives too. There you go, Stuart. Big up to you, Stuart. I always love seeing Stuart here because I know I always see him in chats. So when I see him here, you know what I mean.
Stuart
It's
doesn't
definitely-
sleep.
Well,
Mate,
I'm
there's, a lot of
big up,
Spurs, there's a
Stuart.
lot of Spurs people in the chat that I just don't think sleep. Literally. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, but it's crazy.
Brent, so how Kate and the people in the chat were talking about the signings. Do you think the people we brought in, like Solomon and I might need your guys' help with this, has he come out, and I'm talking about Ange, and said that these were players that he picked? Because I know Conte, denied some players, but like, has Ange said, I wanted these players for my system, or is it just something that we're led to believe?
The only player I saw any commenting on from him was Johnson. That was it.
Okay.
Other than that, no.
Which looks like a good
over here,
signing
I haven't
too,
seen
Bobby K.
anything. I think he looks fantastic. When he's come on.
Brent,
I honestly, if he's adamant he wants to keep that 3-man line, I got no problem with seeing Sonny turn creator and putting Johnson as the striker in front of him.
it's not a bad shout, Bobby K.
Yeah, he's been bright. He's been really bright.
Puts a lot of pace up because he's played as a striker too, right? So I don't know. I think Ange has enough in him that he's buying these players that kind of can play in alternate positions so that he can make the adjustments when necessary. So I'm even though we've had 2 losses, I'm actually looking forward to next Sunday to see what is this man going to bring up for us. What's he going to do? All of us have all these opinions. Let's change. Hey, Hotspur. We have all these opinions. Change formation. Go to a 4-4-2. Put Sonny and Johnson up front. Do this. Do that. That's a good thing.
I say
we're
just
having
let him
that
cook.
Conversation because that means we have options.
I say just let him cook, Bobby K. Right? If I mean, and this is where I hate to say it, and I go back to like it just went full circle. Like I cringe with Dyer in the lineup, but I want to let him cook. I want to just let him do what he wants to do, and if that is whoever he puts on the pitch, like it is what it is. Brian Dagul, how worried are you about Sonny? They said he got injured. Are you
Not
reading
at all.
any into
Not-
that at all?
No. Listen,
Only for the team, I
thing
heard.
is that the one thing I will say about it is Jurgen bloody Klinsmann. You may not be Spurs. You subbed every single player except for Heung-min Son
What's
in a
his
4-0
fucking
win.
problem, dude?
It's
What's
like,
his
what do
problem,
you do?
Brian?
What do you? I mean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. He scored an absolute banger, and then obviously he went down. It didn't look good, and just
Yeah.
because he hobbled off the pitch, it was like someone had shot him on Spurs social media. It was like, oh my God, for fuck's sake, son, oh my. It's like, relax. At the end of the game, he's running around the pitch waving to all the fans.
Yeah, he looked
Running
worse when
around
he
like
came off
fire.
against Vietnam last month.
He should, maybe a little bruised or whatever, but this is the position we're in, unfortunately, because we don't have a backup. Listen, we have Valise, but then it's like the same with Phillips. Do you chuck him in? Is he ready? Is he? At least Phillips is English and knows the language. Is no worries about being homesick, apart from if he's homesick for up north. There's a whole load of other things. He's played with a lot of the players through England international levels. Sonny has got to be wrapped up with cotton wool. The one thing we're missing that hasn't been clicking is the spreading around of the goal contributions. If Son's not scoring, it's a big problem. And any time he goes down, it's a big issue. I don't know if Korea have got another game. I pray to God Jurgen Klinsmann doesn't play him or doesn't play him for the full game. We know he will. And we hope that he just gets through it. We just hope that he gets through it. The other good thing is with us playing Sunday again, it's an extra day for when these players come back. We're not straight away playing on a Saturday. It's an extra day they've got to recover, get jet lag gone. So we'll have to wait and see. And we're just going to have to hope and pray that he doesn't pick up anything in his next game, if there is one for Korea. But no concerns whatsoever about is he injured right now. He's most certainly not.
Yeah. Jim, just real quick, what do you think about what your wife said? Bring Poro forward.
I'm trying to sub to you on my telly. I've done it on all my small devices. I'm going to do it on the telly as well. Sorry, say that again, Leo.
Yeah, so Kate just brought up an interesting point that kind of has been murmuring throughout the community is bring Poro forward. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I'd like to see Kulu in the middle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which would open up that space.
I'd like to see Brendan Johnson on the right.
Yep.
For definite. And I'm not sure about Brian Gill. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about him because I still haven't really seen a lot of him. You know, I can't make my mind up with him. I'm not sure, is he good or is he not good? I don't know. Someone help me out, because whenever I see him, he never makes me think this guy's worth having. You know.
Let me just add very quickly with Poro. Poro has now got the Premier League's most successful tackles.
Yeah, I know. League. Yeah.
And that's playing. And I was very, very against him being a defender. I hated him in defence until this season, where I think he's the most improved player at Tottenham. I don't think you can move him. I think he's better playing on the wing, but I think he is playing so well in defence.
But he does get forward as well, Brian.
Yeah, he does.
He does get forward.
Big time.
Yeah.
Brent, he's one of the players we are definitely chanting and screaming his name out a lot throughout the games, bro. Pedro Poro there.
You know his song, don't you? Leo, you know his song?
Which one is it?
Poro, Poro, Poro. He traded Lisbon for Tottenham High Road. When he runs down the wing, all the Tottenham fans sing, Pedro Poro is one of our road.
Yeah, I have to kind of like integrate. So that's funny you bring that up, because like I tried to implement, and Brent, you can attest to this, like new songs, right? Like I tried to bring new songs in, but it's like and you know, I don't mean to offend people, but it's like baby food. You got to give them little bits at a time, right? Because sometimes at 5:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, people are not trying to listen to me teach them a new song, right? But I try. I have one that for Heung-min's son goes to the Dele Alli tune. We've got son, Heung-min's son. I just don't think you understand. He bangs them in for fun. His penis weighs a ton. We've got Heung-min's son. And so that one's getting some airplay there. And then for Pedro Porro, we do He's Shagging Your Bird. He's shagging your bird. Pedro Porro.
He's shagging your
He's
bird.
shagging your bird. Yeah, you know, so that was a popular one. But Pedro Porro has been excellent, you guys. He needs to be bigged up, especially from playing last season, right, to the transformation and the new system. He has been fucking phenomenal, man. I'm actually impressed with him. And one of our players, he's one of our most important players.
Might just
Kate,
sub
you
to
know,
me, too,
yeah.
then.
Kate, we're on such a roll, and you've just gone and destroyed it. You've just gone and destroyed it with one foul swoop. Disgusting.
We're trying to put you to sleep, is what it is, Kate.
Disgusting behaviour from Kate there. Jim, have a word.
Why? You want to get the poor guy's other arm broken? Stay right there, Jim.
Don't move. At least right here we
Don't
can
move,
see
Jim.
you
At least
if
we know you're on
if you need
camera
some
here.
help.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm downstairs.
Yeah.
Here's
why
the
I'm
witnesses,
downstairs.
Jim. Yeah.
We can let you know if we see her coming from behind this way.
Yeah, Jim was thrown down the stairs by his wife Kate. broke his arm.
Don't tell that lie, Leo. She was helping him down the stairs by pushing.
Yeah, but you're
Brent's thinking, oh my God, what happened
by
there?
pushing him. Yeah.
I got in a car
Yeah.
accident, Brent. I got a broken arm.
Oh man.
That's why I look like a bit like a gimp here.
That's the story they told the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys, just I'm gonna wrap it up there. A little quick stream, just a little under an hour. I wanted to stream you guys, and I definitely appreciate Jim staying up this late, and for you two folks in Canada and Canadian or what Canada. Somebody said one day on your stream, and it made me laugh, Bobby.
Nadia.
But yeah, I know it's a little bit later for you guys too. Big up to anybody who decided to join us, and big up to anybody who decided to like the stream. I'm gonna be doing this more often, so I'm gonna need you guys' help with me with the channel streaming. So whoever in the community that wants to stream definitely is more than welcome to. We all have a way to contact each other. Brent, you're always more than welcome. I know Brent, like I try to give him some time in advance, and I'm like such a procrastinator. I hit him up like a few hours, and I'm like, Brent, like you got some time to come and hang out with the homie. And so big up to Brent for joining us. Jim, what does K have brewing? Like, do you guys have anything popping up? Anything you want to share with us? Anything going on? Anything you got going on, Jim?
I haven't got a fucking clue. She tells me nothing. If I ask her, she pushes me down the stairs.
Do what you're told.
Now we got
It's safer that way.
we're on Bobby's show on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. And then obviously her show's at 1 o'clock, just a girl who loves Spurs. And then she does a show with Ellie. And then we've got the evening show now with the girls, Ellie, Mia, and Kate. And the Wednesday show with me. Just you guys
Wedding
know
Bliss.
it.
Yeah.
Wedding Bliss.
That's the one you got to catch, Brent. Wednesday, Wedding
Yeah.
Bliss, Jim versus Kate. Awesome. It's YouTube gold, baby.
All right, I'll check it out.
That's the one.
I have actually won a couple of times, I think.
You won every time.
Thank you.
You get my vote every time.
Track.
So
You've won every single time, Jim, except when she conveniently at the end goes, "Oh, I'll recount that myself." Yeah, convenient. Yeah, and then she wins.
Yeah.
Brent,
this one too, right? We get this one going, and actually, Bobby K, you were with us when Bradley actually was like, "Bro,"
when he made that up.
him.
Yeah,
So we
I
get
love
that one going
man.
too. Yeah, so it goes to the Snoop Dogg.
Snoop
What's my
Dogg,
motherfucking name?
You
Doggy dog.
I like that one.
Yeah, so that one's gaining some traction as well, you guys.
I'll tell you what,
pick
mine
up
and Ben Daniels, Mickey Van der Ven one is starting to get some traction as well. So
which one is that one, Dagul?
Instead of na 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 na, do you remember the song Black Betty?
Yo,
Yeah,
Black Betty,
Black
bam,
Betty.
bam.
Oh, Big
Yeah.
Mickey Van der Ven. Whoa, Big Mickey Van der Ven. He's big and fast. Van der Ven. You won't get past Van der Ven. Whoa, Big Mickey Van der Ven.
No,
I
that's
like
And
it.
I've
I
got
like
it
it.
singing at the Scotland Yard. We're trying to get it a bit more global, but that one's a banger.
Yeah,
That one is a banger.
that was good. Big up, big up. Bobby, where are you and Coos with the 3 Spurs boys and your sons got going?
Well, the boys took a week off, lazy slackers, because there's international break. They decided they need a week off, so they'll be back next week with their weekly recap. And then on Saturday night, yeah, like Jim already told you, we'll be back with another episode of Coov and the Kang. Last week we just did a pop-up Spot the Bull episode just for a little laugh.
Yeah.
So we'll be back to our normal shenanigans. We're gonna go back to a bit more of a concentrated environment now. So we're just trying to get one show on at a time. So we got Jim and Kate coming over and Ellie from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, and then Haas will join us from South TV COYS because Marlon is bailed out at the last minute. Marlon, if you're listening, you suck. And Hotspur, Harry, he was in the chat already, still hasn't responded.
Yeah, he was.
He said he'll let me know, and Thursday was your cutoff. So Harry, you suck. Ash said Ash had already pre-warned me that it's unlikely for him because he DJs and stuff Saturday night. So I've seen Ash. I've seen pictures of him. I've seen how cut he is. Ash, I love you.
He's a top boy.
You know, I just want to say real quick to the Southview boys, they have been reaching out to me and have been asking for me to go on there, and I feel bad because after the games, like I come back to the laboratory and I start chopping up my video, right, so that I could get it out as soon as possible. And that's like when a lot of these fan shows or these post game shows are going on. And so so big up to you guys. One
Everybody's
of these days,
on,
we will make it happen. Yeah, we will make it happen for sure, you guys. And Brian asked for the 2 most popular fingers in all of Tottenham YouTube. What's going on with Tottenham on tour? I'm liking the late shows you got going, bro.
Yeah, there'll be a late show on Sunday. There will be. I'm going to try and get up every morning next week to do cockle doodle do every single day, which means getting up at 4 a.m. my time to do it, but needs must. And then come December, we've just released. We're doing our Tottenham on tour Tottenham Advent calendar. Yeah, so every single day we'll be talking about 5 players that wore the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 24. Believe me, there's some great days like number 10 when we're talking about Sheringham, Greaves, Gilzine, but there's some bad days where we're talking about No Paramal, Pascal Chimbonda, and some other players.
I like Chimbonda.
It's going to be a lot of fun and very, very festive. So there's a lot coming from Tottenham on tour. But like I said, most importantly, and as always, Levy out.
Of course. Brent, what's up with you, man? Is there anything you want to toss out there, bro? Anything that you want to, plug or anything like that? What you got going, bro?
You know me, man. I don't have a lot going on as far as that. I'll let you guys do all that. So, but I'm always glad that you have me on, and I'm, even if it's 2 hours before we're supposed to jump on. So, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And like I said, this is a debut episode of HotBoxin with the homies. These are my homies, and we've been hotboxing this whole time, and this is exactly
That's
what
why you weren't invited, Kate. Hotbox with the homies.
With the homies. No,
not the
hold on.
bitches.
It's
Not the bitches,
that-
the
that-
homies.
First, she gave me a hard time. Now she's on you, Leo. Man, Jim, go to bed. She needs somebody to beat up on.
She's
I'm
gonna
still
have a
sleeping
special invite.
downstairs. I'm still sleeping
Oh, you're
on
down.
the
Oh, yeah, right.
armchair.
Yeah. Poor
I
Jim can't even lie down right now.
Lay down.
Oh my God.
Oi,
Oh,
dude,
Daddy.
Perfect.
My God, he's alive. He's kicking. He's breathing.
He's awake.
Call me, brother. Call me. I hope you're good, brother. I miss you.
No, it's a 2:30 for him now, right? He's
No,
still-
he's 6
And
hours.
he picked up.
He's 6 hours.
Yeah, so I'm saying
Pick
2:30 in the morning for him.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right, sorry.
Do.
Danny
There you go. Danny
Kiriakou.
Kiriakou.
I love that.
Well,
man.
you guys, I don't know if anybody noticed, but this is episode 22 and a half. And I invite you guys for the next episode, which will be episode 22 and a half. So if you guys enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe, all that good jazz, and we will definitely see you guys I guess on the next one, right? Come on. I gotta end the stream.